So week 6 of college football gives us no shortage of intriguing games to look forward to, but it also gives us one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. Absolutely one of the biggest rivalries in college football being the Red River Rivalry between the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners. Today, we need to stop in Austin and take a look at why this is such a massive opportunity for Steve Sarkisian and company and what a win could mean going forward. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe Steve Sarkisian and company can exit Saturday with a victory? And let me know your expectations for the game. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions might seem small, but they truly are huge to content creators such as myself. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And earlier in the week, we stopped in Norman and talked about why this game was big for Brent Venables and company, and now we need to do the same for Steve Sarkisian. And one of the most beautiful things about games such as this, where there's such a deep-seated rivalry, is there are so many different layers we can look at this game through. We can look at the base layer and go deeper and deeper, and that's exactly how we're going to do this. So at layer number 1, it's another football game, and always Red River Rivalry week, any rivalry week in college football, you're going to hear the head coaches say, we prepare for this like it's another game. And if you get a win, it's just another great win to stack in and continue stacking momentum. And if we look right now, these two teams are at two different areas. You have the Oklahoma Sooners, who are coming off of a devastating loss to TCU. Meanwhile, Texas is coming off of a good win against West Virginia. And when we look at the Longhorns season, they hold 2 losses, to Alabama and then to Texas Tech. And in the Alabama loss, they played as well as you could have wanted. Their starting quarterback went down, and even then, they did not stop fighting until the whistle blew, which, given the circumstances, is exactly what you wanted to see from this team. Against Texas Tech, they had a lot of positive momentum in that game. Texas Tech just pulled out a big win in the end. Fast forward to now, though, and this is a team that's looking to regain all the momentum that they could have lost, and they're doing a really good job at it. And then when we look at this game in particular, coming off of the win against West Virginia, it's just another opportunity to stack positive momentum in your favor and regain control of your season. But we'd be foolish if we thought this was just another game. This game provides so much pageantry, provides so much emotions. We can think that this is just another game, but inevitably, whenever this rivalry kicks off, the unexpected becomes expected. All conventional wisdom goes out the door, and chaos ensues, which is really a beautiful thing. It encapsulates all that we love about college football: the passion, the want to, the emotion. It's so much fun to watch, and it's not relegated to the Red River Rivalry, but these rivalry games in college football are so cool. But whenever we look at it through that lens, that this isn't just another football game, this is a deep-seated, historic rivalry, one that runs deep. And before we go any further, I need to tell a little bit of a personal story. I have a unique perspective on how deep this rivalry runs. I grew up on the northernmost town along I-35, literally on the Red River, between Oklahoma and Texas. And when I was about in the 3rd or 4th grade, I remember vividly being in PE and the PE teacher asking my class for the Oklahoma fans to raise their hands. Around 7 or 8 of my classmates raised their hands, and once they did, the PE teacher looked at them, and I will never forget this, said, "Take a lap and stop when I tell you to." They didn't stop running for the rest of PE class. Meanwhile, everybody who didn't raise their hand, we got to play basketball. So this is how deep-seated this rivalry is. It's in between families. It's in schools. It's something that permeates everybody, whether or not you're a football fan or not in this area, because football is that big here. So this is a massive game. If Texas can win this game, the momentum they take out of it is palpable. And especially given how Texas's season has gone, where you're looking at Hudson Card, really excited as to what the future holds, but knowing you had a starting quarterback go down. For so many teams in college football, your starting quarterback goes down, your season is in a really precarious position. Meanwhile, you look at Texas, and the Texas fan base has to feel confident that Hudson Card can play winning football from here on out. He's played pretty well, and that's a unique perspective to be, because there's chatter that Quinn Ewers could come back, and at that point, if you're Texas, you're looking at 2 quarterbacks that can play winning football. So you could stack momentum off of this game, but you're also stacking confidence in players on your team. I think that's a really powerful thing. Especially for an institution and a program that's trying to rebuild. They're showing all the signs of a positive rebuild right now. And then finally, we need to talk about the historic implications of this rivalry. Because since 2007, Oklahoma has really dominated this series. Since 2007, Texas holds 5 wins to Oklahoma's 11. And right now, Oklahoma's on a 4-game win streak. And though that may not sound like an extreme win streak, when we look at it through the lens of this rivalry, it kind of is. The longest win streak held in this rivalry is held by the Texas Longhorns, and it was an 8-win streak. For Oklahoma, it was a 6-win streak. So when we look, and OU currently sits at a 4-win streak, that's not insignificant. But the Texas fan base, the Texas coaching staff, Steve Sarkisian, and all the players, I'd bet my bottom dollar they're aware of this, and they're going to make it their personal mission to make that stop this Saturday. Look, this is a game where whether you're a fan of one of these teams or not, you're probably going to be very excited to watch it. It seems like that's the case every single year because it always is such a fun game to watch. But if you're Steve Sarkisian and company, you're looking at this game realizing what a massive opportunity is in front of you. You can recapture momentum, and what a better way to do it than in a rivalry game of this magnitude when the Oklahoma Sooners are sorting out some problems. I can't wait to see the matchup between Steve Sarkisian and the offensive mastermind he is against Brent Venables. And I understand Brent Venables' defense right now isn't looking as solid as many of us expected, including myself, but I also remain consistent that Brent Venables needs his time. I said the same thing last year to all those who questioned Steve Sarkisian after the season Texas had last year and said, Sark isn't the guy. I remain steadfast in my opinion of you have got to give Sark time. He's a brilliant play caller. He brings excitement to Texas. I think he is the guy, but be patient. Now I'm sitting here saying the same thing to the other side of the aisle, so it's going to be interesting to see these two guys call plays head-to-head against each other. From a schematic perspective, I can't wait. But Texas realize they win this game, and the rest of their season is well within their fate. So this game cannot be understated for Steve Sarkisian and company. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.